Morgan Rogers was a member of the women's lacrosse team at Duke University. On July 11th, 2019, at the age of 22, she took her own life after struggles with mental health. In her honor, the Morgan's Message organization was created to spread awareness about mental health struggles and dispel the stigmas behind it. Brought to Vestal Field Hockey by Golden Bear alum Riley Storer, the legacy and tradition of this game is continued by this year's ambassadors who want to spread that message.
Don't be afraid to talk about it. You know, there are people that will always want to support you, and, you know, something like this, mental health should be viewed just as much as physical health, and it's really important that you talk to somebody and don't hold it in.